For centuries, the resurrection of Jesus Christ has been the most controversial and transformative event in human history. But what if the story you thought you knew is hiding a deeper, more shocking truth? The narrative of Jesus rising from the dead is not just a tale of spiritual triumph, it is a mystery that has baffled scholars, historians, and theologians for generations. The Gospel accounts tell us that after his crucifixion, Jesus' body was laid in a tomb, sealed by a massive stone, and guarded by Roman soldiers. Yet, 3 days later, the tomb was found empty. How is this possible? Could there be a missing piece of the puzzle that reveals something far more profound than we ever imagined? Consider this: in ancient Jewish tradition, the third day held immense spiritual significance. It was believed that the soul lingered near the body for 3 days before departing. By rising on the third day, Jesus not only defied death but also fulfilled a prophecy hidden deep within the Hebrew Scriptures. The book of Hosea, written centuries before Jesus' time, contains an eerie prediction: after 2 days, he will revive us, on the third day, he will raise us up. Was this an ancient code pointing directly to the resurrection? What's even more astonishing is the role of the Roman Empire in this unfolding mystery. Historical records suggest that Pilate, the Roman governor who authorized Jesus' crucifixion, was deeply unsettled by the reports of his resurrection. Some documents hint at a cover-up, an attempt to suppress the truth. The soldiers guarding the tomb reported a supernatural event, describing a blinding light and an earthquake. Were these phenomena mere coincidences, or were they evidence of a divine intervention that shattered the laws of nature? But the intrigue doesn't stop there. The resurrection account is filled with unexplained details that continue to raise questions. Why did Jesus' resurrected body possess mysterious abilities, like passing through locked doors and appearing suddenly in different locations? Some theologians argue that this suggests his body was transformed into a new, glorified state, something beyond human comprehension. Early Christian writings outside the Bible add even more layers to the mystery. The Gospel of Peter, an ancient text excluded from the biblical canon, describes 2 angelic beings descending from heaven in a cosmic voice proclaiming divine authority. Could these lost writings hold clues that were intentionally left out of the official narrative? There's also the extraordinary transformation of Jesus' followers. Before the resurrection, his disciples were terrified and in hiding. Yet after encountering the risen Christ, they became fearless preachers willing to face persecution and death. What did they see that gave them such unshakable conviction? Modern science has tried to explain the resurrection with natural theories, yet none have stood up to scrutiny. The swoon theory suggests Jesus never actually died but merely fell into a coma, a claim rejected by medical experts due to the brutality of Roman crucifixion. The stolen body theory proposes that his disciples took the body to fabricate a resurrection story, but why would they die for a lie? Each explanation fails to account for the overwhelming evidence and eyewitness testimonies that span multiple decades. Beyond historical analysis, there is a profound personal aspect to the resurrection. Believers claim that the same power that raised Jesus from the dead continues to change lives today. Testimonies from around the world speak of miraculous healings, radical transformations, and unexplainable encounters with a living Christ. Could this be the real secret, that the resurrection is not just a past event, but an ongoing reality that anyone can experience? Even skeptics like Saul of Tarsus, who actively persecuted Christians, encountered the risen Jesus in a blinding vision. This encounter was so powerful that he abandoned his former life and became the Apostle Paul, one of the most influential figures in history. What could explain such a dramatic reversal if not an encounter with a living, supernatural being? And then there's the Shroud of Turin, an ancient linen cloth bearing the faint image of a crucified man. Some believe it to be the actual burial cloth of Jesus. Advanced scientific testing on the shroud has revealed mysteries no human technology can fully explain, including an untraceable energy burst that may have caused the image to form. Could this relic hold physical evidence of the resurrection event itself? One thing is clear: the resurrection of Jesus is not just a theological concept, it is a phenomenon that transcends time and culture, continuing to challenge and transform lives to this day. But what if the resurrection of Jesus holds a mystery far deeper than what you've ever been told? For centuries, scholars, theologians, and believers have pondered the true meaning and implications of Jesus rising from the dead. What if this event was not just a miracle to confirm his divine nature but a key that unlocks the most profound truths about life, death, and the universe itself? Consider this: the resurrection is not only a historical claim but also a cosmic declaration that reality is far more mysterious than we often assume. Ancient Jewish thought held that the dead would rise at the end of time in a general resurrection. Yet, Jesus' return from the grave disrupted this expectation. He rose not at the end of history but in the middle of it. This act shattered conventional understanding and revealed that God's kingdom was breaking into the present. It meant that death itself was no longer the ultimate end. Imagine living in a world where the most feared and certain reality, death, is no longer the final word. This is the radical claim of the resurrection. Early Christians understood this in ways that may surprise you. To them, Jesus' rising was not simply a promise of life after death. It was a declaration that a new creation had already begun. In Jesus, heaven and earth were no longer separate realms. The spiritual and the physical fused together in a profound mystery. But there's more. The resurrection carries a personal and transformative power that many overlook. It is not merely a historical fact to be believed but a living reality to be experienced. Those who encountered the risen Christ were never the same again. The disciples, once fearful and scattered, became bold and unstoppable. What changed them? It wasn't just that they believed in an event, they encountered a person who had defeated death itself. And here lies the secret that can change your life. If Jesus truly rose, then every limitation you face, fear, failure, even death itself, is not the final word. The resurrection offers a new way of being, a life infused with divine power and purpose. It means that no matter how dark your situation seems, there is always hope. Consider what it means for you personally. If Jesus conquered death, then no force in your life is beyond his power to redeem. Your past mistakes, your present struggles, and even your future fears fall under his authority. This is not just an ancient story, it is a living reality inviting you to experience transformation today. What if the power that raised Jesus from the dead is available to you right now? What if the same Spirit that broke the bonds of the grave could break the chains in your own life? This is the invitation of the resurrection. And here is the most astonishing truth: the resurrection is not just about Jesus. It is about you. It is a promise that what happened to him will happen to all who belong to him. The final enemy, death, has been defeated. This means that life is not a meaningless cycle ending in nothingness. It is a journey toward a future where all things will be made new. But this future is not just distant and abstract. It begins now. The resurrection life is available to you today, if you dare to believe it. So, what will you do with this revelation? Will you let it remain a distant story, or will you allow it to transform your reality? The empty tomb is an invitation to step into a life beyond anything you've imagined. It is a call to live with courage, with hope, and with the unshakable assurance that nothing, not even death itself, can separate you from the power of divine love. This is the secret behind the resurrection of Jesus. It is not just about what happened 2,000 years ago. It is about what can happen in your life right now, if you are willing to embrace its truth.